No, that's fine. And so you could say like you wouldn't accept that.
Do you think that you dominate the relationship when it comes to your man?
I do not.
You
it's
seem
equal.
like you would.
Because I have an aggressive nature to me that I think scares you a little bit.
No, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm just analyzing.
No, I do not dominate the relationship. I make sure it's equal at all costs. I make sure that both of us always have an opportunity to speak, say what's on our minds, and set the boundaries that are necessary, and we make compromises as necessary. But I definitely do not dominate, and I make sure my partner does not dominate either, because at the end of the day, we are our own individuals. Mm-hmm. We can do what we please as long as we're not upsetting each other and doing things to intentionally hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you agree that you have an aggressive nature?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I'm very opinionated.
Do you think that's like dominating in the relationship?
No,
was
because
your man as aggressive as you?
Yes.
He was.
But that's exactly what made it fun between us in the times that I have dated men. Yeah. Because we can both handle each other just fine. Most of the time when our relationships end...
The ex you called didn't sound aggressive. Was he really on the same level as you?
Yeah.
He really?
No, actually... But
he didn't sound like it on the phone.
No, see... But he had grown a lot since then.
I don't believe
him
it.
and I dated... Okay, well, I don't care what you believe. So
what's the hostility?
When him and I dated,
I like getting juicy. That's all.
Yeah. When him and I dated, we were in high school,
right?
So that was a totally different Cheska that we're dealing with,
right?
And a totally different him that we're dealing with. You know, back then, you know, he was a serial cheater for sure. Like he was wilding out all the time, and
I think he would have. I'm gonna be honest. When he was on the phone with you, I think he would have cheated again.
Oh, he absolutely would have.
So,
but thank God, huh?
Did you cheat?
No, it was. She was on the show, and it was like call your ex and ask them on a date or something. And it was like he was like kind of feeling the water, but he didn't. He knew you weren't serious.
The reason why I asked that question, because remember last time on your show, and I said there are women that say, "Oh yeah, guys cheat." And I said, well, women kind of cheat at the same kind of rate that men do, right?
Yeah.
And I said, does anyone here cheat? No, I haven't cheated. No, I haven't. So it's like, oh, okay. So women never really admit to cheating.
Are you saying that everyone on the panel was lying?
Listen, I don't have a lie detector test, but I'm just saying it's very interesting that women call out men's cheating and not their own. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean?
There is a famous saying that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked.
What's that, a Bible verse?
Yes. Talks about how the heart...
Preach.
Yeah, so...
I think it's about... Sorry, my love. I think it's about setting boundaries, though, isn't it? It's what you're both comfortable with from the beginning, because I think this is where things can get complicated and people can get hurt.
Right.
And it's, again, double standards. So say, for example, you were liking something of someone and your partner didn't like it, but then they were doing the same and they asked you not to do it. Mm-hmm. And then, but they continued on doing it. Well, that's double standards. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe you should never tell someone what to do. You should let a person make their own choice. Mm-hmm. And if you tell someone, look, this kind of made me a bit unhappy, I'm not too fond of that. But if I understand in context whilst you're doing it and they say, well, this is this, that's that, that's my friend or whatever, then fine. Mm-hmm. But if they're then deliberately, continuously doing something that you've said, you know, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, then it's acting out of malice, isn't it? It's disrespect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? Sorry, go on.
There was a statement that I had read. I'm probably going to butcher it a little bit, but it was like, you can tell someone how to love you, but it's up to them to decide how to love you at 100%. The end of the day.
Yeah.
So based on their actions, if they truly love you, they're going to do what is necessary for you at the end of the day. So
I guess it's knowing each partner's love language.
Exactly.
I think sometimes
that's the main thing.
I think what happens in relationships go sour is that, because my love language could be words of affirmation, but if I project that's my partner's love language, that's where things can go wrong. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm saying, but I'm giving you gifts.
Because people have a tendency to love others in their own love language. That's the problem.
Because women can change their minds very easily.
What'd you say?
So
as can men.
Take women's love languages.
I think we're simple. We're set in stone more.
Yeah, men are more set in stone than women are.
Is that
Do you know
why
what I'm
you
saying?
chat to like so many girls on Instagram? I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying some people do. I mean, you're saying simple, but I don't think so, because if it was that simple, would there be so much choice on Instagram?
Well, you realize it's a small percentage of men that can even do that.
True.
It's a very small percentage of men that are even like sleeping with anybody. Like that's the reason girls hate men, is because we're sleeping with the same ones. No, I'm like dead. Like, because it's, what do they say? If you ask 80% of women what they like look for in a guy, they list 20% of men.
20% of men.
And then the bottom 20% of women, like the 80% of men are fighting over, basically.
I think the majority of men don't even get, like, men's life generally, average men, is a very lonely existence. Whereas women don't get Okay, so an average woman, yeah, can walk out of her house looking regular in a tracksuit or like with a bonnet on or whatever, and still get attention from men. Men will be like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, what you doing?" And the average man walking out his house does not get any attention. His DMs are dry. Yeah, he doesn't get any attention on the street.
Sounds like a rough life.
Right,
Y'all be easy out there, though.
I'm just saying, like the average guy doesn't get the same thing that an average woman would get.
That's what Andrew Tate says, that like women don't know real loneliness because there's always someone that'll date a girl. Like even like the girls 100%. On 500 Pound Life have like boyfriends, but
you get a 500 pound man.
300, whatever it is. No, they do. They still, but like that's what I'm saying.
What they call feeders. You guys just feed them.
Yeah. But I'm saying like men don't have that. There's guys that, oh my gosh, there's guys in my like that DM me and like tell me really sad existence stories. Like this one guy, this one guy's like he like DM me and be like, I'm addicted to hookers. Because I've never had a girl express interest in me at all ever.
And what happens? He probably doesn't know how to communicate.
That's what I said.
Yeah, because the average guy doesn't know what quote unquote game is. Yeah.
He doesn't know what game is. That's what I told him. I was like, respectfully, it has to be your personality. Because I was like,
you can't be this lonely, dog.
No, because he sent me pictures and he's like black pill and he's like, oh, it's over for me. And he's like, am I like that ugly? And I was like, you're kind of average looking, to be honest. Like it's gotta be who you want.
I think he had a degradation kink at that point.
A few moments later.
Because I'm highly opinionated.
No, but I was like, so they think you're pretty, right?
So you think I'm pretty?
But you're more than that, right?
I'm absolutely more than that. I mean, the skill set that I have is fucking wild compared to the average person. So that's why I said I fully know my value and I can. But you
did acknowledge that you were aggressive, though.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Because I know that, like, listen, I was raised by my father. And he does have a little bit more of an aggressive personality. I was not raised by my mother. And even so, my mother is not like a super soft, super maternal kind of person. But I like the fact that I have this personality because I know how to stand my ground when necessary.
Does it serve you well?
It does. Absolutely. Because people who truly care about me and understand me know that I'm just standing up for myself and I know how to speak and articulate myself properly. People, on the other hand, get quickly intimidated by that because they don't have the same ability to speak for themselves the way that I do.
You know, I would say I don't think it's intimidation. I would say it is acknowledgement of the fact that they're not willing to engage with aggressive behavior. And so a lot of the time...
So that is intimidation.
No. It's not. It's actually smart.
It's a wise decision.
It's actually a wise decision. So it's like if somebody keeps bringing aggressive behavior to me, as a man, I would say, I have to make a decision as to whether or not I am going to deal with that. And I'll be like, you know what, 9 times out of 10, especially if it comes from a woman, I ain't willing to deal with it.
But here's the thing.
But the thing is, on your side, you may see that as me being intimidated by you. I'm just saying, listen, I hear you're aggressive and I can see you're aggressive, but you know what? Go give that to someone else. I ain't got time for it.
There is an Asian proverb that says, a man would rather be in the wilderness than come home to a nagging wife.
Nagging and
as a matter of fact, he would rather live on the roof than have a nagging wife.
Nagging and aggression are not the same thing.
No, they can be.
Okay, but that's not the case for me. I'm just passionate.
That's how man interprets it.
Okay, you guys don't understand that. We're talking about things that I'm passionate about. Yeah. So of course I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more passionate in the way that I carry myself in this conversation. However, when it comes to normal conversation, I'm chill. Like, genuinely, I just be chilling. I'm usually very calm, and I'm usually just very, like, I'm excitable, laughing, all that kind of stuff.
So you could change your tone depending on the subject?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I don't think you're a bad person. I just think, you do have an aggressive tone, though.
See, the thing is, growing up, I heard consistently that I was intimidating. Usually from girls, it was, you were intimidating because you were pretty and you know yourself. And from guys, it was, I can't handle that. And unfortunately, that's not my problem. I hate to say it, but like, if you can't handle it, that's fine. That just means that you're not meant to be around me.
I can't handle aggressive women because women are not supposed to be aggressive and to be handled, if that makes sense. Like,
I don't think we're supposed to be handled or tolerated or anything like that.
Right. So so if you're an aggressive woman, I would literally, in my own head, say, okay, cool. She needs to go and be with a man that's going to be okay with that. I'm not okay with that because, I guess the bottom line for men generally is that aggressive women come with a lot of problems. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like. I'm not trying to like.
Don't worry, I'm waiting for the silver lining in this comment.
No, I'm just saying that if you're aggressive but you say if you're looking for a man or a partner, men generally do not want aggressive women.
Yeah. They just don't. That's a very interesting statement because I have dated quite a bit of men in my life.
But you haven't stayed with them. You haven't stayed with them.
I haven't because
men that you've probably like not manipulated. Probably men that you have been the man in the relationship.
No, because I have been authentically myself from beginning to end in each relationship that I've been in.
You see, I don't like that word when people say I have to be authentically myself. If I said I have to be authentically myself, I'll sleep with any attractive girl I see.
That's authentically yourself.
What does that mean? What connection does that make? Because I'm a little confused.
Authentically himself, he will sleep with anybody.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we have a base nature. But the whole point of it, you have self.
But my base nature is not just sleeping with a bunch of people that I find attractive, though. That's your base nature, so you're speaking for yourself.
There's always a toxic shadow side to each human being. We all have a dark side.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm just saying.
I never said that I was only good. I said I was authentically myself.
But I think his question is like, what is authentically yourself? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's saying like
I don't change the way that I act in order to attract a partner, just to end up changing up later on.
So you're saying, yeah.
So I would say like, half the time that these relationships didn't work, it's either that I wasn't emotionally mature enough, or I left for college, or I have other I'm a very individualistic kind of person, and especially within the last few years, I graduated from my bachelor's program, I graduated from my high school program, I was involved in so many different jobs and activities and social justice work that sometimes relationships didn't really fit in with my agenda. And I would just be like, hey, I realize that this is not my priority right now, and I realize I have to focus on myself. I feel like I'm still too young to get into a relationship, or I'm too young to get a little too involved in this relationship. Maybe it could work later on, but right now it can't.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, you have